Hi, my name is Max V, and what you're going to see is a backpack presentation for Got Grit in the form of a podcast. That is what's in the following video, even though I don't really say that I say it at the beginning, but it's very hard to understand, and I just wanted people to know that that's exactly what it is. And so yeah, enjoy the video, and yeah, I want you to have a good time with it. Hi, and welcome to Max and Isaiah's podcast about struggles
Hello.
through last year and about basically our Got Grit section of our backpack. Uh, we have plot points to take it away with our ideas and what has happened and how we have affected it and how it's affected us and how we've dealt with it. First plot point we're taking a look at is the coronavirus and how it affected us. And Isaiah, why don't you take away with that one?
Alright, so as Max said, our first plot point is about coronavirus and how it affected us. So around March time, life was just getting worse. We thought we were just gonna get like a 3 week break for spring break, and since then we just kept on getting further and further and further. A delay of getting back to school, eventually to where the school ended, and we didn't do our tests that we do or anything. Well, during coronavirus, I was just sitting at home all day doing nothing because you couldn't go anywhere. Because eventually, the mayors had banned people from going outside just to help stop the spread. Because when we first didn't know anything about it, it was really, really bad for everyone. People were getting sick, and it just was horrible. And
Yeah. All right. So the main thing for me was, like you said, basically, like a lot of not being able to see people and staying home. For the first 2 days of the quarantine, my mom and dad couldn't like take me home, so I had to go to my grandparents, and we stayed there for the first 2 days. And March 15th, I believe, was the last time I've seen my mom's parents in person. And like originally we thought it was going to be all the way till spring break, and then after spring break we were going to be back. And then, like you said, it was just going downhill and hill. And then June, it really hit me that it's gonna be a long time before I'm able
yeah,
to go hug a family member. And
yeah, the world's been shaken by it. It's done its damage.
yeah.
I mean, it'll always be here now. It's like the flu. It's now that it's here. I don't think it's ever going away. Just, I hope it's not as severe.
hmm Yeah, the main plot is that you just couldn't see most people. And what really stunk is the fact that some of my family members did really be safe, where they wouldn't go anywhere. They would have, when they went to Kroger to like go a click list, they would make sure they would not get in any contact with anybody, and so they could go see my grandparents. And that like really affected us because my mom has work with children and childcare, and she can't work from home, and my dad does work from home. So the next plot point, which I will start out with, is our struggles through last year and how this maybe affected us. And the first struggle I had through last year was obviously the quarantine, but then in April, around the beginning, my friend Luke got diagnosed with leukemia, and that was really hard for me because every time I talked to him about it, he didn't really want to talk, and so I never really knew how he was feeling or what he was feeling. And but he assured me that he was going to be fine, and I told him that everything was going to be fine. And then around October of last year, the 20th, he passed away.
Yeah, I was really sad. I talked to Luke a bit, like, every once in a while. Me and him had a chat,
hmm
but he never wanted to talk about it because I guess he didn't want to make us feel down or anything, down and out. But last year was pretty rough for me because it marked 1 year since my grandma died, like, and it was rough on everybody because I couldn't see my grandpa or anybody in my family because we were just stuck at home all year. Quarantine sucked. put shortly. It sucked. It was horrible. I hated it.
Yeah, put bluntly. Yeah, so that was basically that. And how we overcame those is we just had to basically what I had to overcome most of the sadness I had last year was playing games and playing with friends. They would just distract me from all the bad things that were happened, and I think that's why Luke's death didn't affect me as much as it would have if we weren't. Hi, this is Editor Max here. I just want you to know when I say in this thing that Luke's death didn't affect me as much as it would have, I still want you to know it affected me heavily, but with video games there to comfort me, I wasn't like super down in the dumps because I already was sad with everything else going on, and that was just another bad icing to the cake in certain ways. So I didn't want you to take it as in his death didn't affect me as much as it did, and it really did. But I'm fine now, and yeah, that was just a quick little editor's note. So thank you. If I didn't have video games to comfort me with that, I would just be sitting there with my thoughts, and that for me is one of the worst things that can happen.
Yeah, I use video games as an escape during quarantine because life was rough. People were losing their jobs. Video games were an escape from the real world. That's why I play video games. It's just a way to get out of it and not worry so much. Life's too short to be worrying about too many things.
Mm-hmm. Our next plot point, their next plot point is how we've overcome them, and we explained that just a little while ago. The fourth is explaining how we've dealt the things and the feelings that we've had since everything has happened, and how we feel now about them, because obviously quarantine is still going on, but it's starting to get better as a gradual stop in the increase of cases.
Yeah. Well, with the feelings that I've had, I was sad for a lot of quarantine because I was like, you were just getting hit with the reality wave of that. Oh man, I can't see my friends. I can't see my family. I can't go out and get some popcorn from the movie theater. Everything shut down, and not till a few months ago did everything start to ease up. But it's still here, and the cases are getting worse. But now that I know what's happening, now that I know what to do, it's not that bad anymore. I know what I'm doing, and I know how to stay safe.
Yeah, because most of it for me was because nobody really knew what was going on because hasn't happened in 100 years. And the last time this happened, we didn't really have any science to back us up. So the main thing is not knowing about something that's this bad, that has killed millions of people, is it's very scary for a lot of people, especially the people who have lost their jobs, can't afford things like the luxury of getting to have a computer for school or even have food for lunch.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's not fun, especially people who are put up as a threat to it.
Yeah.
So older people and younger people, they're the most severe to it and getting it and catching it. It's just scary.
Yeah, especially since it is flu-like symptoms and it's so easy to catch it.
Mhm. And then think you don't have it.
Yeah, because
it's bad.
Yeah, there's a possibility of when you get it, you might not have any symptoms, so you might not think you have it, and you can spread it to someone unknowingly.
And false negative tests. Those are scary.
Yeah, false negatives.
I hate to know that tests can be real. It's bad.
Mm-hmm. The last one is advice for people who are struggling during this time of crisis, and basically how all of us have felt. Basically, if I had advice for anyone, it's just to always look on the bright side, because that's one of the ways I've stayed positive, is you just have to look on the positive outlook of something. When last year, when I couldn't see my family, I said, well, on the bright side, I can call them and talk to them. When Luke died, I said on the positive side, he's not going to feel any more sickness, pain, or anything due to him being in heaven, because there's nothing, he'll be perfect. And that's basically the only advice I can really give to anyone who is affected by this, is just try to look on the positive side.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Max on looking on the positive side, and also I want to add to that of which you don't need to take everything so seriously. That's a good way to live. Make sure you still enjoy life, but just don't take everything so seriously to where the point where you're getting beat up by anything that may be happening to you, like schoolwork or if you're older, bills or anything. You just don't want to get beat up by them, and you want to enjoy life while you still can.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. And definitely, if you want information on how to do this, I would say just try to make it easier on yourself and don't listen to everything you hear. I would say listen to major organizations like what the government is telling you and what the CDC, because those people are going to have the most effect and they're going to be able to help the most people.
Yeah. The news can be pretty bumming out sometimes. Bad things are happening all the time. That's why I don't watch the news anymore unless it's something serious, cuz like it's just bad. The news is one good way to beat yourself up about anything, about safety or whatever it may be.
Yeah. So this was our Got Grit backpack backpack item. Us explaining to you 5 major plot points on us persevering through times and how we know anyone who is watching this or listening will hopefully have persevered with us.
Yeah.
Editor Max here, and I just want to say thank you for listening to this podcast episode, and I want you to know that I will have more about different things, and I just want to thank you for watching this or listening to it, and we really didn't say that in the video. We were very tired recording it, but I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of me and Isaiah. So thank you for watching this, and I will see you next time.